Did you know you can only find their gear at Target? It's true. So hurry over. Love, love, love is all you need.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sin's Chat Corner. It's pretty unusual that I actually have a later day interview on a Tuesday, actually, because my kids are usually home. But I made a special exception because I feel so terribly that I put off poor Ville Nova not once but twice now, and almost the third time today. So I want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much to him, which I'll tell myself, for making the time for this. And, of course, for Bridget giving me back-to-back interviews here, both a Monday and a Tuesday, so I'm very excited. I don't want to keep him holding on too much, so we're going to put Ville Nova on the line and try to find out a little bit about him. I'd like to know the man behind the music, of course, try to find out how he got his inspirations, how he got to where he is right now, some of his future endeavors. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. So let me get him on the line and we'll get going. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello? Hey, how are you doing? This Cindy?
Yeah, this is. Can you hear me okay?
Hey. Yeah, I can hear you
Hi.
good.
Oh, awesome.
How you doing?
Awesome. So this is the infamous Ville Nova. I've heard a lot about you.
Yes, ma'am. I hope good things.
Well, I've heard some interesting things. I've heard oh my God, I've heard that another friend of mine actually interviewed you, so she gave me some tips about you. So I'm like, well, we're going to see what I can get out of you. Definitely. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. I'll make you laugh a little bit. We'll talk about your music a little bit. There's a lot to learn about you, so I'm very excited. And I have some hopefully really good original questions, so we'll see.
You can ask me anything.
Wonderful. Good. Well, the first two things I'm going to ask you about are actually kind of intriguing and interesting. These are just more curiosity questions. First of all, in looking at you, to those that have been listening in that don't know what he looks like, I'm here to tell you that you have this physical likeness to the legendary Smokey Robinson. Do you know who he is?
Wow. Yeah, of course. That's my aunt's, her unspoken husband, if that's right. It's like that's her everything. Since I was little,
Really?
She loved Smokey. That's the first for me, actually. I never got that before. Smokey
really?
Robinson.
You've never heard that? Yes. Look at yourself.
Never
I'm telling
that.
you those pictures. Yeah, you betcha. You definitely, I think you look like him, which is a compliment because, I mean, if you've got the voice and you've got the look and you've got the style, that's definitely something that you can market. Listen to me. You've got a wonderful publicist.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
And hopefully it roll over to my pen because his pen game was incredible. So hopefully it affects that a little bit too.
Oh, definitely so. Definitely. The second question that I wanted to ask about is the obvious because, of course, pertaining to your name. Now, to me, it screams of just being highly original because, obviously, there's the Ville Nova, which is your stage name, as I understand it, and then, of course, on your regular page, it's Ville Nova. So I'm curious, maybe you can just share for us where that came from and how you developed the stage name. Where did that come all about, or is that actually your real name?
No, it's not. When I was younger, it was a guy that I admired, I looked up to. He used to run with my older brother. His name was Ville, actually. And I always liked that name. So I'm half of a duo. I don't know if you knew that. I'm half of a duo called Bo and Villa, and I'm Villa, Bo and Villa. So my name was shortened for that group, for the duo. So when they came to me recording my solo stuff, I just dropped the Villa and added the Nova, so it's V Nova. So it's really short for Ville Nova. Yeah, the Ville on the Facebook pages, that's what people call me all the time anyway. Yep.
Okay.
But my real name is Tyrell, so I really can't get away from the L's, the double L's. Yep.
And I can't imagine people walking up to you and being like, hey, man, like your music, can't pronounce your name. I think that'd be a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah.
I understand. That's fine. Now, I was also, in my background checking, I wasn't able to find out anything as it's relative as far as, now, do you come from a musical background, meaning that your family had artists in it and things of that nature, or are you like the Lone Ranger in that regard?
Oh, no, yes, definitely. My grandmother was highly into, reggae, and she made a band out of all of us, me and my uncles. So since I was young, I just had, the shakers, because I was, kind of young, so I didn't really have a real instrument, but we was definitely, listening to all different types of music from a young age. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, he used to sing with Benny King.
Oh, wow.
With Yeah. Yeah, he used to sing before, I think Benny King went solo, or I forgot how the story goes, but he's a good singer. So, and my aunt know how to sing. We all like musically inclined in our own way. My uncle was an extraordinary singer, reggae singer. He's like, you know, pretty known out in Jamaica and overseas and stuff like that.
Sure.
Elijah Dixon. Yeah. So yeah,
How impressive is that?
Yep. I grew up like exposed to a bunch of music, a bunch of different genres, and when I was old enough to write my own raps and start doing poetry, I just ran with it. I never stopped since I was like old enough to write.
Was there ever any given point in time, and obviously like you're mentioning with having this background where your family was in this and that kind of stuff, because I know at times sometimes I've been heard before or people have told me before that when you come from that background, let's say, that it's a double-edged sword, meaning that because they're your family, they want you to succeed, but as we all know in real life, sometimes being a musician or being in the arts doesn't always pay off, meaning they want you to have the 9-to-5 job, that sort of stuff. Was there ever any apprehension in their minds as far as that part goes?
Oh no. No, all my family is supportive. Been supportive since I started. Yeah, and I can't think of anyone that really, you know, even my mother, God bless, she passed away in 2003, but she always supported my music. Even though when I used to come home late from the studio and, you know, have a new song and cut it up loud, she'll get a little upset, but she still supported, what I did. So. Yeah, I never had that problem.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I understand.
My family
now,
is different too. They're like
really
cool, like super cool. Yeah. Even my grandmother. You won't believe it.
Oh,
yeah.
How cool is that? That is nice. That's nice to hear, obviously, because you need to have that good base to. I think it's hard to be successful. You need to have that backing behind you, of course. Have you written? Do you write or have you written particular pieces, like in the instance, like you're saying, with your mother having passed on and her being such an influence? Did you find that being able to utilize your music in some way, were you able to use that as an homage to her or as tribute? Have you written about her, or will you, do you think?
Yes, I have. Actually, it's good that you mentioned that because this album is pretty much dedicated to her. On like 3 or 4 songs, I talk about her. And it's something that at first, I didn't really touch on it, and then a guy by the name of Bruce Wayne from Midi Mafia production company or group, he kind of gave me that advice. He gave me that advice to really tap into, what's going on personally, and I still didn't capitalize on it until I started working on this project that's coming out on Hidden in Plain Sight 2, and I didn't mean to do it either. I didn't do it on purpose, but when I listen back to it, like now when I'm listening to it, I realize that like 4 or 5 songs that I'm like mentioning my mother, and I have a song called Mother's Day on this new project. So I decided not too long ago that I should just dedicate this mixtape to her, this street album. Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. Look at that. It'll be racking up in heaven there. Isn't that sweet? Lovely.
Oh, definitely.
I like to hear that. Very cool. Very cool.
Definitely. And my dad, too. My dad passed away in 2010, so he have
oh, my goodness.
a song called Live, Love, Life that I speak about him, too, on the second verse.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. All right, now we're going to go back a little ways and kind of start out. I want to talk a little bit, to those that don't know, of course, your birthplace is actually Brownsville, yet you made your move to Brooklyn, whereas your claim to full-time residency is at this point. Now, to those also unaware, hip-hop actually found its origins in New York City. In fact, it derived from New York originally, and some of the greats in the industry have actually hailed from there, such as Tupac or Mose or Beastie Boys. I'd like you to talk a little bit about your take on this as far as today's hip-hop culture and its impact on society. How has hip-hop music had an impact on our society? Has it, do you think? And how has it changed, back in the day as compared to now? Because obviously you're a little bit younger. You haven't been in the industry for years and years and years. I'm curious to get your take on all that.
Yeah, I think back in the days it had a bigger impact. Well, I can't say that. It's because now it's kind of commercialized now. Now more than back in the days. It was more like deep rooted. This is my opinion, but I think back in the days was different, and in a way where it was more hands-on kind of. You couldn't really grasp the artist like on a social network or anything like that, you know. You had to kind of wait to go to the concert, you know, or to a big journalist interview them. But now it's like at the top of a finger, you can get access to the artists and everything they're doing, what they ate for breakfast and stuff like that. So in that way, I think, you know, hip-hop has changed from back in the days. But as far as the influence, I think it's continued to grow, you know, over the years. Because now when you look at commercials, everything is like, you know, hip-hop terminologies and slang, everything. You can't look at a commercial without hearing a hip-hop beat or, you know, even fashion, you know. You know,
I know.
It's a super impact. Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Oh,
but
definitely.
It is more commercialized now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know how something where at first is not everybody's doing it, so it's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of cool for you to partake in it. Now it's like everybody, you know, everybody's doing it. So
I know.
Almost.
I do. I noticed.
Not to be good or bad, but yeah.
Oh, sure.
I think
and if we
hip-hop
turn it
is,
to... Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's
no,
actually.
I think it definitely have a strong influence, though. Definitely have a strong influence, though. Yeah, definitely influenced my life.
You, and I was just gonna say, now with you being in New York City, obviously, you're in the scene more often than we are, let's say. So as far as hip hop artists go, and just rap hip hop there, how popular is it in your area as compared to maybe some of the other places like LA, for instance?
Here it's almost too popular because it's oversaturated with MCs here in New York. I'm pretty sure LA is like that, so I haven't been in LA for a while. I'm actually going back soon, but as far as New York, it is oversaturated with just, MCs and people and artists and, people who want to get in the business, people who are already in the business. Like I just saw somebody from what's the guy name? From Houdini. I just bumped into him like, it wasn't. It's like you can't turn the corner without an artist or an up and coming rapper or something like that. So I think in New York, per se, is oversaturated with MCs. Whereas if you go even to Connecticut, Jersey, not even that far, it's more far and wide that you see, MCs. So MCs that come from them places kind of have a bigger field to play around on,
Sure. No, I understand exactly.
The advantage I have is I put in a lot of work at a young age, early. So as far as reputation, I got a head start with that. So that's what kind of helps me more than an artist that's just trying to, just write a rap that you can go out there and become famous or whatever you got for. So,
listen to him, folks.
But the New York scene is, the New York scene.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll have to check that out myself because I'll be coming to New York, so I'll be checking out all that good jazz and stuff because Bridget always makes me go out and listen to new talent, or usually talent she covers, I should say. Anybody she's covering, she's been a client of, and she's like, let's go and check them out and this and that and stuff. So it's kind of cool, actually. The one other thing I wanted to touch on about that subject, and I'm curious about this because, when I was listening to your music today, my kids were home, and so my kids are smaller. So, my two boys are here, and they're 6 and they're 8, and I'm thinking, oh, boy, do I want to listen to this guy's music? And this is what it leads up to. In times past, now, let's think on this. A lot of times, whether I like to admit it or not, or I'm sure you see this and hear this all the time, typically when people are rapping or doing hip-hop of some sort, there is a lot of the vulgarity in there, meaning the swear words and curse and things like this. Now, I played Cold Shoulder for them, and this didn't sound too badly, actually. I mean, I asked them flat out, I said, what did you think of this? Because I was curious, and my little 8-year-old says to me, it's an 8 out of 10, Mom. And I'm like, oh, my God, I was really impressed.
Nice.
I mean, I wasn't hearing the F and this and F and that and mother F and this and that. You know what I mean? It's not... I don't want to say tainted because it is an art form. So I don't want to, I mean, do you feel, and you are in this genre, so you can speak to that, do you think that sometimes it's a little excessive in terms of using that to get a point across, meaning having to use profanity so much?
It's almost hard to play the radio, a hip-hop radio station around your kids. That's how bad it is, you know? For me personally, it's hard. I have to push myself to actually make a record with F&M, you know, and if I do it, it's going to be kind of graceful. It's going to make sense. But I make all different types of music, so I have some tracks where, you know, it may be edgy, but it's going to make sense, you know, to the adult, you know, or even to, you know, child just with a little intellect. But and then I thrive off conscious records, though. So most of my records are like even more conscious than Cold Shoulder, because Cold Shoulder, like, it falls in between. It falls in between. I mixed everything up, and that's like the feel of New York. That's what I wanted to try to bring on that track. And New York has a little bit of everything, so kind of just, it was like my own what's going on, you know? Sure. But I usually thrive off just brain food. That's what I call it.
Well put. I like that. I like that. I'm going to use that one. That's really cool. That is. I like it.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm jotting that one down right now. Okay. Now, I found this intriguing to mention, and I like always discovering and talking about some of the things that other people don't. Because I find that oftentimes, and this is myself inclusive, many of my guests or individuals that I know or associate with have discovered their creative streak from being youth on, and obviously you're no different. And then I know that you started singing as a child, and I'm sure involved shortly thereafter into songwriter in due time. Do you find yourself, for you, yourself, do you find yourself partial to being the musician component as compared to the writing component? Do you have a preference, one versus the other, and if so, why?
Which one would I rather do?
Yeah, I mean, as it relates to obviously doing the singing component as compared to the other thing.
I'm more of a writer though. I almost don't know what you're asking me. I'm sorry.
That's
you
fine.
said what was the question again?
Oh, no, that's okay. Comparatively, if we put it side by side, because obviously, of course, you do perform as a musician, and on the other side of the fence, you do the creative part of it, which is, of course, writing lyrics, etc. At the end of the day, which are you more partial to?
Probably the well, it's just even spread. It's an even spread. I would say I like the creative side of it though more. So yeah, I would say probably the show and performance side I'm probably more partial to, because you know I'm like an artist, like a painter that loves the empty canvas, you know. So I like to get in there and create, you know, more than versus like this. We got a big show coming up and rehearsals, you know. That's like, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot for me.
Oh sure.
You know.
Oh, I imagine so.
I like the creative side more.
Okay.
Definitely the creating and getting in, you know. Did I answer your question?
You did. I know exactly where you're coming from. I was just curious because some people, you know, they go out on stage and they perform and they're like, this is it for me. They're like, if I never have to write another thing again, I'd be perfectly happy. And they just are more partial to doing singing and being out there and that stuff. And then there are others who just enjoy and thought, well, yeah, even though I'm a musician, sometimes I really would like to just sit here and write for days on end and, you know, not perform as much, you know. So some people just have a preference for that. So I always like to ask, obviously. Now, I'd like you to detail for us the reasoning behind your choice to be in hip-hop as compared to, let's say, R&B, for instance. Because when I was listening to you, one of the things that I got out of your voice reminded to me in some fashion of John Legend, if you've heard of him.
Oh, wow. That's the number first. That's the number first.
Look at that. Getting a lot of firsts on this show today. That doesn't surprise me. I get a little older. No, I mean, I did.
Yeah. That's a little compliment. And from somebody who can't sing a lick, you know, I think if I could sing, I would rather do R&B. I would rather sing, definitely, if I knew how to, you know. But yeah, I can't sing a lick. But you know, when I first started out, I had my voice was different. My voice didn't kind of develop fully until maybe 19, 18. So I would sound different on every record, you know. But
Okay.
I used to harmonize a lot when I was, you know, before that, when my voice didn't develop. I used to like harmonize. Like who can I compare it to? Like a Bone Thugs, you know.
Oh,
I used
okay.
to do that a lot in the track. Yeah, but then, you know, I kind of just fell back from it. But as far as flat out singing, I can't sing a lick. Let me be the first to tell you.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
I mean, I would love to. I need some singing lessons maybe. And then it's over for rap for me. I'm straight R&B, straight songs, R&B legend, rock and all that. I'm going crazy. I'm switching the whole genre.
Okay. Was there something about hip-hop that you enjoyed more so than, let's say, some of the other genres that were out there? Or did it just seem like a natural fit for you, or was there just some reason you gravitated towards it?
I was exposed to hip-hop more, I would say, than the other genres. And,
okay.
And, yeah, that's about it, just because I was exposed more. You know, if I grew up and they played mostly rock in my house, I probably would be like, you know, the lead singer of a rock band. So I would say just my exposure to hip-hop being, you know, that being a reason where that I gravitated to hip-hop a little bit more, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of your work, of course. Your first creation in 1997 was Peeps in the Ground. I wanted to see, in your own mind, if you can describe for us your perception of how you think your technique or your sound has changed at all. Meaning, let's say, for instance, if you look at something like this particular piece and now, of course, doing something like Cold Shoulder, have you noticed a progression or a change in any manner as far as musically or otherwise, whether it's your writing or otherwise, from now to then?
Yeah.
And what's
definitely
changed?
Like I said, definitely, like I said before, my voice absolutely has changed. I sound like a person. I was a squeaky all over the place. I was a squeaky kid back then. But the maturity, I definitely matured intellectually, you know, and just as far as the overall skill, you know, and putting songs together and you know, composing the records. But when I was younger, I was, like, out there. When I was younger, then you probably, you know, couldn't play, like, none of my songs around your kids. You know,
really?
It was like that. Yeah, we was like, those were the time when I was half of the duo. I still am, but I wasn't solo yet. And we made a bunch of, it made sense, I mean, in our own way, is what we were going through, but it was just straight out hardcore rap back then. Versus now, I can kind of level out with all genres, all topics. You know, it's almost no topic that I can't cover, no track I can't conquer. You know, I think my style improved. Of course, definitely improved. You know, much more than Peeps in the Ground. But Peeps in the Ground was a great record. That was a record about, you know, our, like, people close to us that passed away. We kind of made a record dedicated to all of them, you know. There's a lot going on there. And most of the records around that time was ratchet, what we would say.
I guess
very ratchet. Yeah. And now you can, I'll say like 50% of this project that's coming out, you can play around your kids. Straight intellectual.
Oh, my God, really? Really?
Yeah, like songs like Mother's Day and Live, Love, Life, like I said before. Walk Alone is actually dedicated to my daughter. You know, it's a song to my daughter. So, like, yeah, I'd say half of this album you can play. The other half you can, too, but it's, you know, you got to cover the ears every now and then.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. I had to watch myself today. I was like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have heard that. Now I'm, like, talking past it. Like, oh, I didn't hear that. What was that? You know, it's one of those things. Obviously, I hear you.
And I didn't do it on purpose. It's just what I was feeling, you know.
Oh, no, I understand. I mean, I do. But it's harder to explain that to the little ones when they're like 6 and 8 running around the house and they're talking about Iron Man and then some guys on the radio and they're like, what? I'm like, I don't know what that was. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I don't know what is that. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, it's interview time, so when I play this song today, it's like, okay, we're going outside to play. So they're outside with my brother right now, and I'm like, okay, just don't bring him in when this is on. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Now, I was
so on this
obviously
project, it's a song for every occasion that you can play. You know, whether your grandmother's around or, you know, I'm really excited about this project too. Yeah.
Gotcha. Got it. And then you obviously made another impressive choice, and as you had started to talk about earlier, which was your election to become part of the rap duo of Bo and Villa, which that partnership meant. Oh, yes, thank you. Partnership, of course.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I wasn't correct. I'm just like, oof, that's like a sigh. That's, yeah, Bo and Villa, that's why I'm able to be here where I am now, because we put in a lot of work, me and my partner.
Oh,
you know?
I imagine.
And
sure.
I still get respect and notoriety from those days, you know. And we still got plans on recording together. You know, he's just down south, so.
I guess
we never really did the send email thing and everything. We like to be in the studio together and hang out the song. So it should be another Bo and Villa project coming soon. But I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's just fine. You know what? You were just feeling it in the moment. You can do that. It's your interview. You can do whatever the hell you want.
And I'm going on like
curious.
48 hours no sleep, so I'm rambling.
Oh, my God, honey. My goodness gracious. I feel guilty just for dragging your ass up here.
No, don't worry about it. Don't feel guilty. Not at all. I do this
on
a regular.
Feel too bad. I was going to say, it'll last about 30 seconds. It'll go away. That's right, because Bridget asked me to interview you, so darn it, we're doing this interview. I wanted to... I like the fact, obviously, in your speaking about this partnership here. Can you tell me what you feel your partner, that particular partner, what components they added to the mix, which in your mind signaled success? Meaning, what does he bring to this equation as you two in this partnership that makes it work so well?
He brings the like when we do touch together, he brings the hardcore, rugged. I mean, unadulterated. Like, it's no letting up. When he goes, it's straight rugged. And versus me, where I'm like almost the total opposite. Especially if we're on a song together. I'm going to be like the conscious, the flow, the savvy, you know, playing around. You know, not playing around, but maybe kind of just to lighten up the situation. Because you have some people that'll tell you, like, Bo, hands down. But those, you know, those are the people that just like to hear hardcore, you know, straight bars all the time, back to back to back. And you have some people that, you know, swear by Villa, you know, just because they like the witty intellect. So I think we complemented each other because of that. It wasn't like MOP. I don't know if you know about MOP, but it's their duo too, where both of them are just hard, you know. And I love MOP, but the difference between them and us was you know, we were totally different from each other, and it kind of worked. You know, it did work. It did work.
Gotcha.
So that's what he brought to the table, like this, just the grittiness. You filled the void of that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to switch gears for a minute. We're going to talk about your personal life because we like talking about that. I like embarrassing people on my show. So I think we waited long enough to ask certain questions. So now I'm going to ask a few things. Like, for instance, I am 100% certain, because I'm sure people won't tell you this, but they tell me this, which is obviously women are out there and they all want to know the big question because it's not on your damn Facebook page. You're an artist. You meet people all the time. And it goes without saying that some women out there actually think that you're quote-unquote hot, which is nice.
Definitely.
So it begs to ask the question, is the guy single? Do they have a chance? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm putting you in the hot seat. What's going on with your love life?
There's a chance. I'm up to my neck, if you understand. So,
are you really?
Yes, I'm all over the place. All over the place. So it's going to be a line that they have to wait on, but I mean, you know, like seriously. But if there is a chance, yes.
Okay. You hear that, ladies? So basically get your ass to New York City, go to his events. I can tell you where he's going to be at least for the next few of them. But okay.
Yep, and so turn it up and stand out. So yes. Okay. They have to stand out though, so they can skip the line a little bit. Nah.
Okay. Oh
but
my
yeah,
God, listen to you.
I'm all over the place. Not to sound, like a pig, but I'm all over the place. And in a good way, neatly, with respect, though, definitely. But I've been in
certainly.
I've been in a long-term relationship with my daughter's mom, obviously. But when we separated, I kind of just wanted to enjoy my time, so enjoy my life,
Of course.
So that's where I'm at now.
I get
I've been there.
So now you got to tell me. Or you got to tell me so that these women can hear, because I'm sure that thousands of people are listening to this and are thinking, all right, I'm going to go see this guy. I'm going to get myself all dolled up. I'm going to go to one of his shows. So the real question is, what's a Ville Nova girl? What exactly encompasses that? What really captures you? What do you enjoy as far as what's the ideal woman for you? Let's say.
I'm gonna start off by saying not ignorant. I don't like the ghetto, and not. I mean, I don't like too much of the slang. I like this down to earth girl, but I don't like too much of that. Actually, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like talking out the side of the neck, like my name, we popping and using slang and stuff. I don't, I don't want. I don't want that. So you have to have some type of intellectual conversation, and sense of humor. Definitely a sense of humor, and I don't talk a lot, believe it or not. So
really,
so I like a girl to talk a lot, actually.
Okay, because then the pressure gets off of you.
Because that fills the awkward, quiet moments. So sense of humor, talkative, as weird as that sound. And that's about it.
Oh.
Independent, know what you want, and not ratchet. Not ratchet.
Does she have to be a musician, or does she have to be creative of some sort? Okay.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not.
I was just curious because that's
Barnes and Noble.
So this is a good thing. Okay. Now, a couple of the things that I found out about you. First of all, you're a fan of this thing called Concrete Roses reality show. So now you need to give me the details on the show. First of all, I've never heard of it. Second of all, it just screams to me, Cindy, you need to have those people on your show because I do reality all the time. So I'm curious. What is this Concrete Roses reality show that you're a fan of?
You said the Concrete Rose reality show?
Yeah. What is that?
Wow. I'm not aware of that. Concrete Rose?
Because it's on your page. It literally is on your page as one of your likes. It says that you enjoy Concrete Rose's reality show.
Concrete Rose, that had to be something that my manager put up.
Oh, my God. I feel like an ass now.
Is that dealing with Mob Wives? Is that like
no,
Mob
Wives is different. But
totally
no, Mob Wives is totally different. This is like a reality show of, okay, yeah, because I was going to say, usually it's this, one of the things you do when you research someone, obviously, is you go through all different various places, which I've done, and then I looked at your page, obviously, because you friended me. So usually on someone's page, it shows, like, what they like, what they're interested in. So I usually try to tap into that. But no need to tap into it because you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, do you?
Yeah, no disrespect to Concrete Rose, and maybe I do, and the name is not registering, I'm not sure, but as far as any reality shows that I'm hands-on, I mean, I have, like, a few offers and ideas for a reality show of my own, and, you know what that's going to entail. But as far as reality shows that I'm into, I just got on to the, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I just got on to the Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, my God. My respect just went out the window. Damn it, Bridget. You're bringing me somebody who watches Honey Boo Boo. Come on.
It's crazy because I'm just
Come on.
And I was stuck for like, just off the ratchetness, I was stuck for like 2 episodes, when they show it back to back. Right. 2 episodes. But, yeah, besides that, I don't really watch reality shows. I don't even watch that.
Honey Boo Boo? Come on now.
Yeah.
Honey Boo Boo?
Yes.
Really?
The little girl is hilarious. She's hilarious.
Oh, my God.
I was like,
it's
my God. It is. It is.
Well, now you know, folks. Here he is, Mr. Hip Hop, watching Honey Boo Boo. Nice. Real nice.
Yeah, the reality
That's
shows
great.
they always give me a So after a while, if I watch them too much, because it's like
no.
you want to jump in the screen and kind of like
No, I do.
speak
I
your
know what
mind.
you mean. And I interview those guys for a living. I mean, I do all the various different realities, a lot of the Bravo people, obviously. And I see we have a mutual friend in that Nora has been on the show. She's a friend of the show, a friend of mine.
Yeah,
I've actually hung with Nora.
Nora's my
very,
girl.
very sweet girl.
Nora's my girl.
She is a sweetheart. Total doll, actually. I can't say enough about that.
Yes.
Lovely young lady. And I know we're going to talk about you're going to be at an event of hers this weekend, actually, which I saw, which is very cool.
Yes.
I also like the fact that we both, obviously, my heart is in New York a lot. I mean, Bridget's one of my favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
You and I actually share a lot of mutual friends. I see you were hanging out with Eric Andrew the other day, which is awesome. And you know my
that's
friends,
my
which
boy.
is cool. Oh,
Cool
my God.
people.
Absolutely love those people. Everybody is so sweet and absolutely wonderful. I was going to mention to you, or I should say to you, another friend of mine who's been on the show as well, Gerard, who actually runs Webster Hall. I'm assuming you've met him.
Say that again.
Have you met him?
Gerard?
Well, Gerard, which is actually Gerard McAfee. He actually has a real name. Yeah, he's an actual actor, and he actually runs Webster Hall. Right there in New York City.
Oh, no. I was supposed to make it out to initially meet him, but I couldn't make it out that day. So, okay. I mean, at least to Webster Hall for an event. But that must have been an event where,
I get you. Well, that's it. When I come out there, you're going with me. We're going to go to Webster Hall. We're going to meet Gerard.
Absolutely.
He is amazing, absolutely wonderful, amazing. I mean, New York City has such wonderful people, such great opportunity for the things that you're doing, as a matter of fact. So it's like, okay. Now, if we tailed you for a day, what would we find you doing? Would it shock us that you lead a very boring life and you're a nerd, or would you be telling me, man, I meet the best people, my life is kick-ass? What's a typical day for you? Is there a typical day?
Man, it's no typical. Every day is a roller coaster. Let me tell you, from 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning. If I tell you what happens, it's almost like you can't have a camera around me,
Really?
Because it would be like, yes. I almost want to tell you, what happened to me the other day. Oh, my
really?
God. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, come on. You can't take me 80% and then just say stop. Come on. You got to give it up.
Okay, straight up. My daughter's mom, right, me and her's going through it. She accused me of pulling a gun out on her. and yes, told the cops everything. So I'm because I saw her at a store, left. Now after I left, the cops come up to me and pulling the guns out. Freeze, everything. Why we getting called? You pulling guns out on people. Locked me up and everything. Never found the gun, obviously. Locked me up and everything. So I went through, got an order of protection. Can't see my daughter. I got to deal with hating ass. Can I curse?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hating ass niggas, ass bitches, and mean ass police. We call them cacks, thanks to Trayvon. You heard? Crack ass crackers.
Oh my goodness.
No racist intended.
Oh my God.
Straight up. That's my life.
Goodness gracious.
All day.
Really?
People I grew up with hating, yes. And it's it's ups and downs though, and not everything is like that, But my life is definitely a roller coaster.
Oh, I imagine so.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Do you ever find yourself looking back at this? I mean, meaning now that you're at the point where you're at right now, are you ever looking at things and being like, man, there are just some days I want to just go back to being me. None of this fuss and frill and, the constant demands of time and this and that. Just going back to being you before all this, or do you like the roller coaster?
Nah, I mean, if I go back to being me, I would have to go far back. I would have to go like to when I was 12. So I kind of want to grow out of this, and get out. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward and get to the point where I can get away and really not have to deal with certain things if I don't want to,
Gotcha. Oh, no, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly. We all have our little skeletons and past lives and things like that. I know exactly what you mean.
I've been running around since I was since a young age. So if I go back, I'll almost be stuck in a bottle now. Let me
No comment. I'm leaving that one alone. Not even touching it. I'll leave that one by itself. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Cindy went back to the baby stage last night. Her and that little bottle of, I don't even know what the hell it was. I think vodka last night. Oh, yes. That's right. See, this is, I get a little snippy. We're a little hungover today, but that's all right. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm managing so far. One of the things, I find this intriguing, actually, because you're an artist who's heavily involved in hip-hop, but yet you hold a desire to someday team up with a jazz band. So that's kind of unexpected to me. So where does that fondness for jazz come from, and what makes you want to do something such as that?
I love jazz. And I wasn't exposed to it from anybody. I gravitated to jazz on my own. So before, and I love jazz. I always loved the sound of jazz, everything about jazz. I met the Young Boys, MJC, Michael Jazz Trio, extraordinary. I got a chance to meet them, and we came up with this idea to do a project together. Yeah, we just rock out like the Roots, revisited, but improved. No disrespect to the Roots, but like extreme, the Roots to the 10th power. So that's the idea. That's where I want to take it. I feel that I can get my point across a lot more and get hold of it to a lot more people, you know. That way.
I know exactly.
And I love jazz. I just love it. I love it. And the Young Boys is extraordinary. I got a show coming up with them on at Cafe Wow. It's going to be extraordinary. I'm calling it the greatest show on earth.
Okay.
It's going to be extraordinary. Yep.
Well, and you'll get more chicks with jazz. You'll get the chicks with jazz, I can tell you that right now. I'm telling you, they'll be lining up like you ain't already, right? Yeah, right. Like you get a problem with women. Let's not even go there. We won't even go there right now. We don't have enough time to even delve into your love life because I'm sure that'll be a whole other show. But wait, I'll listen to the song to come. I'm sure that'll happen. Well, I'm on fire here now. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit, a couple of more things here before we get to actually playing Cold Children and talking about that, of course. I know that you claimed to have a desire to create music which will spark people's minds while carrying a street edge to it. Proof of that, I think, is the success in your endeavor, which was in your first solo attempt, which is in 2007, entitled Radio Advanced Poetry. I wanted to ask, within the course of compiling that particular piece of work, were there either specific themes or feelings that you were working on that you had hoped that your audience might gain in listening to those songs from that compilation?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thank you.
If it was any kind of feeling I want to get across, it was that it was my first solo project. So I wanted to show that I can, do it on my own,
Sure.
And I was still maturing at that time, so it's a lot of quote-unquote ratchet records, That makes sense, and, it's not like I'm just all over the place cursing for no reason. It makes sense, but my language work for that project, and I love that project. But independent would be that feeling I was trying to get across, just to show people I could do it on my own. And again, that project, you have, I won't say half, but maybe 30% of the songs you can still play around your kids, around your grandmother. I have a song on there called It's Just Music, peddling music. And 2 records are like extraordinary. And then I have the, hardcore records on there. But the overall idea was to show people that I can do it on my own and speak on what was going on at the time. Every time I listen and go back to that album, it takes me back to what I was going through, good and bad. I was going through a lot then too. Yep.
Okay. And then for you personally, to date, and that means starting from back all the way back up until now, if you could name for me your absolute favorite release, whether it was an LP, whether it was a single, and the reason behind that. If you were to pick from your own work, what would you say?
Well, until Hidden in Plain Sight 2 come out, I would say Radio Advanced Poetry. I would say that.
Okay.
Overall, yeah, I would say radio. I love Radio Advanced Poetry. Yeah, but I know hitting in plain sight too is going to be like my favorite. When it's my favorite now because obviously I'm riding to it, but I mean when it's out there, it's my favorite. It's simple as that. But Radio Events Poetry, as of now, to the audience, that's like my baby.
It's your personal
whole project. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hitting plain sight. Part 1 was like it's cool street album, but I want to so just I don't know. I love it. I'm kind of there's a few things that I would have done different. So that's why this is. Like usually with me, my favorites are the next songs that I record. Like if it's a new record I do today, as far as individual songs, that's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The next song.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit, obviously, and let's talk a bit about Cold Shoulder. You can talk to the audience a little bit about that, and then I'll go ahead and play the song so that they can actually get a sense of what it is and hear your music, and give you a break for like 4 minutes so that you don't have to talk to me. Tell us a little bit about where that came from. Where did you find the inspiration? Is there meaning behind the song? And moreover, what do you think attributes to the success that you're having with that in the video, of course?
Initially, I would give the inspiration to the producer. If you put Adele on a sample in the beginning, so automatically her voice, it takes you into like a whole different song. So that kind of warmed me up. So when the track dropped, now I'm thinking, man, stylistics, people make the world go round. New York, let them know what's going on. So I used stylistics song, People Make the World Go Round, as the hook, with a little twist, and sung by Malchi.
Right.
And so then I decided just take them to New York and show them what's going on, like I said. And I think people like it because it's just because of that reason. It brings you to New York. So if you're here, then you kind of understand and you can move around with it. Move through the city with it. And say for somebody who's from New York and not here, you can listen to it and it kind of takes you back home,
Sure.
And for somebody such as yourself who, doesn't frequently visit, it introduces you to what to expect when you get here.
Sure.
And that's
definitely.
And that's organized chaos.
Organized chaos. I like the sound of that. A lot. It sounds like my life, your life, many people's actually. And I'm curious to ask this. Have you, because I don't know this for certain, have you two worked together in the past before? Because the chemistry works very well for the both of you.
Malchi?
Yeah.
No, that was our first project, but she's very, very, very dear to me, And so it's almost like we work together because I spend a lot of time with her. I probably spend more time with her than any human being, any other person.
Wow.
So
really? Hey, that almost sounded romantic. Is she listening? Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Single?
Yeah, no, she's special though. Yeah, she's special. So yes, there's some chemistry there, like we've been recording for years. But that was our first song we ever did together.
Yeah, like I said, the chemistry works very well together, and it was surprising because I wasn't sure what to expect when it started, and I thought to myself, how refreshing. It was very different and unusual and out of the ordinary from what I've heard in the past, and just the mix of the two of you, you just work well together, and you can tell that within the course and the context of the song, at least in my opinion, and it's not because you're my guest. I mean, legitimately, it sounds good. It sounds fresh, in my opinion. So, I'm going to go on it now.
Very soulful.
Really?
Yeah, very, very huge.
We'll see.
Yeah, different.
We'll see what they
like Patti LaBelle, soulful.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny because you can't always get a combination like that together. I mean, you think you can put yourself in a room with someone and say, all right, we're going to partner up and work together. That doesn't always mean it's going to work well. So this is good.
That's something I dream. Meet Patty. She cooked fried chicken for me. That's my aunt. That's my aunt in my mind, but she never met me before.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
tell me about it. I have those guests all the time. In my head, oh my God, yes. You start watching my page, you're going to figure out real quickly Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
All about Kiefer Sutherland. In my head, we're already married.
Exactly.
We've already got our house. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't know it yet. He's not hearing me, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Okay, folks, I'm going to play Cold Shoulder. So everybody, including yourself, you can listen to your work, and everybody take a listen, and hopefully you like what you hear as much as I like. So without further ado, let's play that, and we'll get back to the rest of it. Just 1 second here. Ow.
You break me with your cold shoulder. Whenever you look at me, you know it's not the time. You shout me and work me tonight. Whenever you look at me, you know it's not the time. Track engine, give my track today. Oh, I'll be cussing one more pain.
Cold shoulder.
Buses on strike, wanna raise the day. So they can help fill the air. Well, that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs of carousel. Changing people's heads around. So underground young men. People make the
Cold shoulder, chinchilla for the winner. I've been iller, I've been riding dirty four-wheeler. I'm a spitter, more skiller. With the game, now more villa. High intellect with a touch of that killer. Say you want rappers to be realer, well I'm a drug dealer, that's real enough for ya. Good with the ladies, I'm a Mac like Miller. Eye on the prize, get jacked like Thriller. Hot winters, cold summers, cop killers, number runners. Potholes and the snot-nosed hoes. East side of town, act dumb if you wanna. It's millionaires still looking for a come-up. Belly full, still feel the pain of the hunger. It ain't a game, though. It ain't a thing, bro. Oh, you rap too? It ain't the same, though. Got grown-ass men wearing hang-lows. Officers of the law wearing plain clothes. I take a bad chick, hit her with the Django. The D silent, but she wildin'. I'ma keep it on Dre 3000. You out of place, fool. You need housing, no one there when your stomach is growling. No job, so you result to wildin'. The outcome is a trip to the island. Fuck all the dialogue, skip to the violence. We all die, the world will keep spinning. But no one to be here to bear witness. Like if a tree fall middle of the forest. Cold shoulder, hit him with the chorus.
walking losers on every shed. They'll blame it is on longer hair.
Cold shoulder.
Big men smoking in the easy chair. On a back cigar without a tear. But that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs of carousel.
Cold shoulder.
Changing people's heads around. Go underground, young man. People make the
Cold shoulder. Shirley. Sheepskin nigga. Burling. They act cold till the heat get the purring. Big guns bring your walls down. Berlin. Jericho got the whole city earling. 2012 they was waiting to the whirling. Focus on the Mayans, but on my end, I was focused on ways to get clients. Nigga, stop lying. That shit you shoveling, I'm not buying. I'm just climbing up the ladder of success, grinding. Execute with remarkable timing. Sight for the blind men, down for the deaf, Jews for the dumb, food for the lions. Was never compensated for their labor. America, do you owe niggas a favor? Would you be this world power today or third world country had you not enslaved them? But that's old news, and we here now. Four corners of the world got them near now. About that life, homie, I ain't with a stare down. Whoever looked wrong, you getting hooked on. They asked why you ain't wait for him to give it up. And my reply was, cause he took long. Why the world so shady? Price of food high, can't feed your baby. Babies having babies, shit is crazy. Crazy, this is how it's been since the 80s. I've been on my bullshit lately. Feel sorry if a nigga try to play me. That's when you feel the wrath of a Taurus. Cold shoulder, hit him with the chorus.
everybody judges by the clothes you wear. They wear the pants below their hair.
Cold shoulder.
Everywhere looks their poverty and police brutality. But that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs of carousel.
Cold shoulder.
Changing people's heads around. So underground, young man. People make the world go round. All you need is love.
The Beat Bugs rock! Did you know you can only find their gear at Target? It's true, so hurry over.
Love, love, love is all you need.
you need is love. We love the Beat Bugs, and Target is the only place you can find them and all their gear. Come join the fun and jam with us.
Love is all you need.